In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect a Utiliguard to RTK to Diamond Maps. The Utiliguard to RTK can be used with Diamond Maps as both a general purpose GNSS device for tracking your location and as a locator for recording detailed depth points. In this video, we're going to show you both the GPS setup steps as well as the locator setup steps. If you only need one of these features, it's not necessary to do both setups. But you will get the most out of the interface if you do both. If you don't already have a Diamond Maps account, you can create one by starting a free trial at diamondmaps.com. To interface with the locator, you'll need to install the Diamond Maps offline app from either the Apple or the Google Play Store. And you'll first need to use the online version of Diamond Maps to create any layers that you'll be working with. Then in the offline app, you can download that map. First, let's look at how to connect to the Utiliguard GPS. We'll go to the menu, click on GPS status, then click select. Then choose scan for Bluetooth devices. If you're using an Android device, you may have to first pair your phone with the locator before it'll show up in this list. We'll choose MFL RX. You'll know you're connected because there will be a Bluetooth symbol on the Utiliguard device, and then also the gray box here with a bunch of live data. Now, to achieve RTK accuracy, the Utiliguard needs to connect to an Intrip client. And normally the Utiliguard app would serve as the Intrip client, but since we're using the Diamond Maps app, we'll need to use the Intrip client built into Diamond Maps. So to set this up, you'll go to the Setup button. Then you'll get the Intrip setup screen where you'll enter information about the Intrip client you're connecting to. Once you've entered the address, the port, username, and password, you'll choose a mount point by clicking on the select button, or you'll see a list of mount points to choose from. And once you've entered all your information about your Intrip client, then you will click the start button. And you should start to see the receive count increase, confirming that the correction data is being sent to the locator. Once you have Intrip client up and running, you can go back to the GPS setup screen if you want to by clicking the back button, or you can just close this screen and start using the GPS with RTK corrections. Once you're connected, a yellow dot on the map will follow you as you walk with the locator. You can use this feature to walk back to a previous marked point, or you can use the GPS point button on the draw toolbar to mark a basic point. Now let's set up the locator interface. This will allow you to use the log button on the locator to mark a point in Diamond Maps that contains all the locator details like depth. We'll go to the menu, then choose Locator Setup, then click Select. We'll choose MFLRX again. You'll know you're connected by this gray box showing connected and the green status label at the bottom of the screen. Now that we're connected to the locator, let's use the Trace tool in Diamond Maps to mark an underground line. Click Draw, then GPS Trace. We'll need to select a points layer. I'll choose Locate Points. Then a line layer, and I'll choose Locate Lines. Now, to mark our first point, you press the depth key on the locator, and a form will pop up in Diamond Maps for you to enter any information about this point. I'm going to give a description of waterline. Then I'm going to click the lock button on description. This will make sure that waterline is automatically filled in for every point that I mark in this trace. So let's walk a little bit further, and then I'll press the depth key again to mark another point. You'll see waterline's already filled in, but here's an example of some of the data that you'll get from the locator, like locator depth and depth units and all that information you see here. Clicking the add button on this form each time is optional, because when you press the depth key for the next point, it'll automatically save this previous point. So as you walk the line, the only thing you need to do is press the button on the locator each time. So let's do that one more time. We'll walk a little bit further. Then I'll press the depth key again on the locator and mark a final point. When you're done marking your points in this trace, you'll click the Done button on the trace bar, and it's going to connect all these points with a line.